What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I have Nolan Minessale joining the show. Nolan, what's up? How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well, and let's jump right into it. So you're coming off a really solid freshman season at St. Thomas, average 11.2 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, 2 assists per game. You did it at an efficient 56.2% from the field, which is not something that's easy to do as a freshman at 6'5". So just talk about your freshman year, though. Did it live up to your expectations? Did it exceed it? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I felt great about my freshman year. To be honest, I didn't really know what to expect, so I kind of just came in just open to whatever, and I'm really excited with how the season went. And I was a little disappointed losing the championship, but
Yeah.
getting there with everything that's going on, I think that was still good. And then obviously with next year, just we weren't eligible for the NCAA tournament this year, but next year we will. So it's going to be a kind of like a chip on our shoulder to make it next year after losing the championship this year.
Well, let's go. So you said that you next year you're looking forward to being at St. Thomas and hopefully making the NCAA tournament. So you're not looking to hit the portal.
No, I'm not. I mean, obviously that's a question you got to ask these days, but I think one of the things that makes us so special is just how connected our group, and I just didn't want to leave it, and I think we've got a great chance to be really good and really special next year.
Absolutely. So just talk about, like how much the group matters to you, the fit, because sometimes the grass isn't always greener. We've seen that happen a lot throughout college basketball where you have a chance to really develop in a system that you thrive in. It's a good fit. Just talk about the factor that those things have on you returning to St. Thomas next year.
Yeah, I mean, I think fit's definitely one thing. Just like I think I had a great fit here, and I think it's a great role for me. But I think also kind of like you look at the March Madness over the years, like the Kentuckys, the Dukes getting upset early. I think a big reason for that is kind of just some of those smaller schools have guys who have stuck around and played together for much longer. And I think it's just a lot harder to be better when you're trying to put teams together through the transfer portal and stuff like that. So I think it's one thing that's big with our team is just we've kind of grown together and we've been together, and I think our chemistry is one of the things that makes us so great.
Absolutely. So, and when I was listening and watching the game against Omaha in the championship, I heard him talking about how you signed with St. Thomas, and then you started dunking everything in high school, and they were a little worried that you were going to go elsewhere. Just talk about why do you have such loyalty? Because that was before you were even at St. Thomas. Is it the coaching staff? Why have you been so loyal to St. Thomas for a while now?
Yeah, I mean, I think it all goes back to the reason I came here. I mean, the coaching staff is just great. I mean, I love JT, our head coach. Then our assistants are just great too. And I mean, that was the main reason I came here, and I think they've just been great ever since I got here. Also, just like the story about St. Thomas, it's one of the most unique stories in all of college basketball, and I think just looking at our trajectory the last couple of years, it's only going to keep going, and hopefully the next step for us is the NCAA tournament, so hopefully we can get there next year.
Absolutely. So, and I said early on, or I probably off camera, I said to you that I see you being a player with a really, really high ceiling. Is that just something that's exciting for you? You probably know it yourself that the ceiling's pretty high. How fired up are you just to kind of work on your game this summer and take it to another level?
Yeah, I mean, the one thing for me, it's always been the three-point shot, which is always going to be the next level for me. And I think that's one of the big things I'm focusing on this summer. So hopefully, I'm going to put in a lot of work, and hopefully next season, it'll look a lot different from three, just with how teams have to guard me and stuff like that.
Sure. But you shot, which is impressive. I looked at your percentages in high school and college. You shot basically the same percentage your senior year of high school as you did in college, and that's a lot harder to shoot the same percentage in college than it is high school, right? Because obviously it's further out, you have longer, better athletes defending you, so that's definitely a step in the right direction. And yeah, just so the shot is something to take another step in your game. But I do see you're listed at 6'5", 180 pounds, and is that still correct, or did you maybe, and it's very hard to do this, but did you add any weight throughout the season? Because watching that championship game, they found a matchup with you against Omaha where you were stronger than the other guy, a little lengthier. They kept feeding you the ball towards the end there. So did you add a little weight, or is that something on the agenda, the docket, to add some pounds this summer?
Yeah, that's definitely on the agenda. I am still around like 185 weight, and I'm
Okay.
gonna try to put like 10 to 15 pounds on this summer. But that was actually one of the things this year too. Just we were a little undersized, so I was playing the four man, some of the times, and just going against a lot of those bigger guys. I think putting on weight will not only help me defensively, but offensively, kind of like it did a little bit against some of the smaller guys that switched on to me in the championship game against Omaha.
Absolutely, absolutely. So is the plan just to eat as much as you can and hit the weights hard?
Yeah. I mean, the big thing for me is just trying to eat as much as I can.
Yeah, yeah. No, I get that. So, all righty. So, and then another part of why I think you have a high ceiling is it looks like you have some long arms on you. Do you know what your wingspan is?
I've actually never tested it.
Okay. Okay. Would you agree though? You got long arms. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty correct. Yeah.
Okay. And then I've heard some rumors about the vertical jump. Do you know what that is?
That's another thing I've never tested.
Okay. Well, someone told me they knew you had a 40-inch vertical, so they must be capping to me.
I'll have to
So,
try it out sometime. We'll see.
yeah. But yeah. So, as someone who I see with a lot of upside, is there anyone that you model your game after, like that you say, like, hey, I think down the road I can play like this guy?
That's a great question. I would say one guy who I've kind of like thought about a little bit like over this summer when working on my game. I actually like really watching Jalen Brunson, just how
Okay.
he's smaller sometimes, but how he can just get inside and use his body down low, pivot around, and still get buckets inside against bigger defenders.
So at 6'5" and with now I said it like 10 times with the upside, like everyone wants to play in the NBA, right? But is that something that you like believe is in the realm of possibilities, and you believe in yourself that you can get there?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think it's going to be really hard, and it's probably not the most realistic thing, but at the end of the day, I mean, everyone has a chance, and when you're playing at the highest level, you never really know what can happen. So, I mean, for me, I'm just thinking work as hard as I can, and then, hopefully down the road, as I'm thinking about, maybe playing pro or something like that, maybe the opportunity arises.
Okay, and then what were your thoughts about the postseason eligibility rule you guys have had to deal with?
I mean, I don't know. It's an interesting rule, but I mean, it's there for a reason, I think. And I mean, luckily for us, we actually were supposed to have it be a 5-year ban, but we got it moved to a 4-year ban. And we were disappointed we couldn't make it this year, but luckily for us, we can make it next year. So.
Right. Good deal. And yeah, just to wrap this up, I got two more questions before a rapid fire round. So the NCAA tournament is here, and I'm probably going to post this on Monday because I just feel like the internet's going to be saturated with college basketball content. So I'm going to post this Sunday or Monday. And who are your bold picks that you have on your bracket right now?
Actually, my champion in a couple is St. John's. I mean, I love watching
Okay.
because I grew up as a Marquette fan, and St. John's is one of the teams that I think is really underrated to win it all.
Sure. And then yeah, that kind of leads into my next question pretty well is Omaha, right? You guys lost in the championship to Omaha. You guys have played against them. You know what they're like. Do you think they have what it takes to put a scare into St. John's or defeat them, or you just don't see that in the realm of possibilities?
I think they definitely can, and I mean, I have a lot of respect for those guys. So I mean, if they win it, that's great, but it would kind of ruin my bracket.
Well, I appreciate it, Nolan. I got a rapid fire round for you. So I'm just going to give you a bunch of questions to answer them in a timely fashion. And my first question for you is, who's your favorite basketball player of all time?
Giannis.
All right. Who's the best basketball player in the world right now?
Got to go Giannis again.
All right. Do you have any hidden talents?
I'm a really good fisher.
Okay. Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Favorite food?
Ooh. Lasagna.
All right. Favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Favorite toughest player you've ever had to guard?
Con Knipple.
All right. Favorite movie?
Kicking and screaming.
MJ or LeBron?
MJ for sure.
All right. A few more here. Favorite sport outside of basketball?
Soccer. I gotta go soccer.
Okay. Favorite cheat day meal?
Probably McDonald's.
Okay. And favorite exercise in the gym?
Let's go curls.
Okay. Favorite TV show?
That's a tough one. Breaking Bad.
All right. Two more. Favorite musical genre?
Hip hop.
And last question. If you could have dinner with any living person right now, who would it be?
Ooh, that's a good one. I'd probably say Giannis again. I mean,
Let's go.
Gotta go with my favorite player.
Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is Nolan Minessale. Nolan, thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm looking forward to staying connected along the way.
Yeah, thanks for having me.